In this lesson, I'm going to change the background of the body as well as show you how to preview in a web browser. So right now we can't see the background of the body, but we created it earlier. So remember F4 will toggle our palettes or panels away. And there is the background we put in for the body, which doesn't look quite right now with our graphical insert up here. It's more blues. So let's bring those panels back. And just so you know, on the welcome screen, which has open recent document, new HTML that we normally see, you can still toggle between F4 and bring the panels up. You just can't do anything with them on that initial screen. Just a side point. All right, let's go to body and change that color from yellow. Well, we don't even have to go into edit styles. We can just see with the body selected that we picked the background color of yellow. So let's just click on it. Now we got the eyedropper, and now we can pick, I think blue would look good. And let's hit F4 to, yeah, see, that looks a lot better. Yeah, a lot better. All right, bring those panels back. And I don't know, I did change this to a little bit of a bolder type just because I thought it looked better. But now let's preview in a web browser. So as you begin to create links and animate your page, you're going to want to preview in a web browser, not only to see about the functionality of the page, but just to see if the layout looks like you want it to look to a user who opens the page. Because even this toggling here doesn't give you the true view of how a user is going to see the page. So before you get too deep into making changes to your document, it's good to periodically preview in a web browser. And it's simple to do. Go over to Edit, and down here at the bottom you see Preview in Browser, and then a caret. So if you go to Edit Browser List, here's a bunch of preferences. One was up here, remember, Show Welcome Screen, if you decide that you don't want to see that welcome screen. Anyway, a lot of different options and preferences here, but we want to deal with Preview in Browser. So it defaulted here to the built-in browser, iExplore. So if you had another browser, you could insert it here, and you would browse for it. Maybe you had Firefox, Netscape, whatever, and you can set it up here as the primary or secondary browser. And then hit OK. In this case, this is all I have. And then you would, if you had a list here, you'd click on one and say, OK, that's the primary. Click on the other, oh, that's the secondary. And that's it. And it gives you also a clue here that you don't need to use File Preview in order to see it. So let's just leave this as is, and we're going to hit OK. And you can go to File, Preview in Browser, and hit iExplore, or the shortcut F12, much simpler. But you notice it asks if you want to save the changes before you preview in the browser. So normally you're going to want to, or save a copy of it. In this case, I'm just going to save a copy of this just to show you how to do that. So you may have several different versions of a page. Let's say this is Test for Class version 2. So it's a secondary page. So now let's just hit F12, and you want to allow blocked content, and you'll learn a little bit more about that later when we create animations for the page. So now this should come up, how it will actually look in a web browser, which is very useful. So you may decide to keep some of your format changes or make additions. Now also you're able to hover over links you've created, and you notice down here it showed you where it links to. So if we were connected to the internet and we click this, it would take us to poetry.com/contact HTML. I'm not connected to the internet at this moment, so it didn't come up. I don't even know if that's a valid page because we just made it up. Also, Oh, I exited out. So let's hit F12 again to bring it up. Allow blocked content. Yes. All right, go back down here. Now our information page, that was linking to a page within our site. We have not created, if you notice there down here, it says informationpage.htm. We haven't created it yet. At a later point, when we do create it and we show it where to direct to, we'll be able to actually click this link and go to that page. But anyway, these are some of the advantages to previewing in a web browser every so often. So choose the web browser that you want as your primary. If you have a secondary, put that in there. And every so often, just preview. See if it's what you thought it would look like on the page. So I'm going to exit out of here, save your changes, and you're all set. Enjoy.